Welcome back to Initiative Reviews. Before we begin, please follow us on social media at Afro Anime Initiative on Facebook and Instagram, and at Afro_AI on Twitter and right here on YouTube. Today, we're doing Blacklightning Season 4, Episodes 1 and 2, The Book of Reconstruction. If y'all know my history here on the channel with Blacklightning, I love it and I hate it. I wasn't going to cover it, but I said, hey, if the initiative wants me to, I'm going to do it. It looks like the initiative wants me to, so I watched it. Let's start off like this. I enjoyed it. I really did. I actually liked both episodes. It didn't do what they usually do. Okay, let's be honest. A lot of these network shows, they start off really big, a lot of special effects in the first couple episodes to get you in, and then the rest of the year is trash. Talking to you, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But this time, Blacklightning's got it's like a slow build. You know, it's their last year, their last season. So they might either be cutting back the budget, they might not have a budget, or I hope it's a real slow build. But I liked it. I really did. I'm glad you guys got me to watch it again. I'm saying a lot. No, let's get into it. First off, it picks up a year after what happened from last year, revenge with a recap. Then the recap was cool. It hit the real big points. The war for Freeland, the players involved, ASA, the Markovians, the meta-human gravedigger, what the family had to do to fight out of it, who they lost. You know, they lost Captain Bill Henderson, Blacklightning's best friend, who was the cop of Freeland. So it goes through all that, and then it picks up with, where everybody is. But we'll go through bullet points later for the stuff I really liked in both shows. I'm going to give you an overall review because the family is fractured. I'm loving it. It's showing the effects, even though maybe not to the fullest extent, but the effect of what violence and war does to a family, what it does to black people, what it does to people in general. And I really like how they're displaying right now. The family is fractured. Everybody got issues with everybody. They're still trying to do stuff for Freeland, but it's getting real weird, real nippy. Because it looks like the girls are back out there. That's Lightning and Anissa, and Anissa is known as, what is her name? She got Blackbird and Thunder. She got two code names. She got two secret identities. They're out there still fighting a good fight over the year reconstruction. But when we pick up with this, Blacklightning ain't Blacklightning no more. Jefferson's put away the suit. He's not out there. The girls are, and Lynn is doing her thing, still doing research, and we come to find out still doping up on the metagene. She's just displaying power. She can't let it go. We get the new factions, because the ASA is gone, the Markovians are gone, but we still got the 100 gang led by Resurrection Man Lala, or Lala the Resurrection Man. Lady Eve is in control of a new gang called the Cobra's Cartel. Bunch of lady killers, love them. Hope they get code names like from snakes, like they did in Kill Bill. It's not copyrighted, you can do that. You got them. You got the cops, the new chief of police, Chief Lopez. She wants it out for the gang members, for metahumans. She after everybody. Gambi is being courted by a new corporation called hold on, let me check the notes. Called Montecito. Yeah, Montecito. It's basically a play on Montecito. And the Monte Vista. It's Monte Vista. They're out there trying to get Gambi, and they got some mad tech to fight against superpower people or metahumans. It's a lot of factions, and then you still got Blacklightning and the Lightning family. Basically, the city is still fractured. Even after a year after the war is over, the city's still fractured. People are homeless. People don't have the food they need, the supplies, and then just to make it all worse, the big bad, the man himself, Tobias Whale, the albino dude with superpowers who takes a serum to stay alive and young and strong, he's back and he's in power. People are calling him a hero. He's taking his money from his empire. He's bought the mayor's office. He's bought the research center where Lynn works at. He's buying up the city block by block and re-expanding his criminal empire. But it seems to be outside of the 100 and Lady Eve's Cobra Cartel. So that's another faction coming in heavy after Freeland. Just Tobias and his own personal organization. Man, it's a lot of great stuff. So we can go point by point real quick. And let's start off with episode 1, chapter 1. We got the recap, and we got Blacklightning at the grave of Chief Henderson, or, his best friend, Bill Henderson. He's dead. And he's just like talking to the memory of his dad. And he's like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm over. I'm done. His dad says, yo, we've been here before. You can do this. And he's like, this is different. This is my brother. This is the closest person I had to a sibling. He's dead. I'm done. And he feels that him being Black Lightning didn't help anything. So he's put the suit away, but he's still using his powers. He comes across a couple of cops beating up an innocent kid, it looks like. He lets loose on him. He lightens him up, blows up the cop car. Gambi and him got to come save his butt. But again, because he did without his suit helps him, you know, cover up from cameras and stuff. The cops still got him. So now you got the cops after both Black Lightning and after Jefferson Pierce, because he did it outside his suit while he was in his regular civilian car. The cops like, bro, we know you, we got your license plate. Come on, bro. It gets mad deeper than that. So with Gambi being coded by Monte Vista, they trying to move into Freeland. They're supplying tech to the cops. They're supplying money and funding to organizations to help rebuild the city. But they got a large international network of stuff. And it's weapons. It's weapons against metahumans. Because according after what happened, Freeland has a metahuman problem, even though these are kids who were injected with this drug, green light, and they ain't asked for this. Not a metahuman problem. It's just a problem. But they coming after them hard. And it looks like we're going to have a battle over that soon. We move into what I think is probably one of the best parts of the last 2 episodes. It's couples counseling. Lynn and Jefferson are in couples counseling. They've had a lot of problems over this last year. Jefferson doesn't trust her. Lynn has always had issues with Jefferson and his powers. They don't really talk about that part. I mean, they still undercover, but, you know, they in therapy. They talking about how they feel about stuff. And it's a lot of fracture from the stuff that's happened over the last year that they haven't even solved. And what really gets me about these 2 episodes, which I hope a lot of people see, they're normalizing therapy for Black people. That's a stigma in the Black community about seeing a therapist. Yo, you crazy. What you got to talk to a stranger for? Pray to God. A therapist is there to help. And these 2 episodes so far have normalized that. I'm in therapy myself. You just need somebody to talk to, you know? And I love how they did it. And it's like this is a good therapist. She's taking everything in. She's being unbiased. She is listening. That's what therapy is, y'all. She's listening and is letting a lot of stuff out that the characters get to express, which is a really cool way for them to express that stuff. I got something on my glasses. So I'm really feeling the therapy stuff. I'm really loving what they're doing with the therapy. So we move out of that to the girls. Anissa, for the last year, it seems, has been sitting next to side of Grace. Grace is still in the coma that Anissa gave her from their fight inside the Markovian base. So, you know, she mad guilty. And Jess is there just saying, hey, you gonna move on, you know, being her jerky self. I mean, Lightning. Being her jerky self, even after all the stuff she's done with Khalil, but, you know, she's being her. And, you know, they had a little scuff. So even the sister's not really tight, even though they've been going out fighting crime. It's Thunder and Lightning. Love the name, by the way. Comic book, beautiful stuff. It's Thunder and Lightning. But they still got a lot of personal stuff. It's still a little friction there, older sister, little sister. And same thing, sisters, parents, siblings. The family is super fractured. And Gambi is off of this thing with the Monte Vista stuff because the person trying to recruit Gambi is his old flame. So it's history there. But again, let me slow down. Let me slow down a little bit. I'm throwing a lot of information out there. But that's the setup right now. The gangs, the cops, the Lightning family, and whatever Monte Vista's doing, and Tobias. That's 6 organizations, factions, out here doing their thing out here on the street, trying to take over Freeland. Freeland got metahumans, a large drug community, there's money on both the legitimate side and illegitimate side, and people want control of it. We move on to the more setup for about the gangs. Jennifer and I called it Jess earlier, didn't I? Jennifer, I'm sorry, Lightning is Jennifer. Jennifer and Anissa go out to break up some drug busts. They go one after the other. So the gang set them up, and they get shot with one of the advanced metahuman weapons. Black Lightning goes nuts. Again, he's not in the suit, and you know he needs the suit to help regulate his lightning powers. He goes nuts. He cripples a kid. That's not Black Lightning. He's not a superhero no more. He's on some vigilante stuff, but it's all personal. He's not just out there stopping random stuff. He's just like, yo, I know this person. You ain't gonna do nothing to him. And he just lighting people up, the cops, because he knew the kid went to his school. He's still a principal at his school. He went after the gang member that shot his daughter, because, you know, that's his baby. In episode 2, he goes after another gang member who shot the kid of one of his teachers. He's just out here wilding, crippling, hurting people. And it gets worse because the cop that's investigating Blacklightning and Jefferson, his name is Hassan. He's actually a pupil of Chief Henderson. Chief Henderson hooked Hassan up with Blacklightning's number. Hassan's number to hook him up so he get with Blacklightning. But Hassan don't trust him. Neither does Blacklightning don't trust Hassan. He's like, I don't know you, bruh. Henderson never mentioned you. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't want to be Blacklightning no more. I'm just going to be out here wilding. And that's what Jefferson is doing. He's out here wilding. So these last 2 episodes is showing him mentally breaking apart. He's depressed over the death of his friend, his brother. And he's not handling it well. And he got superpowers. It's not a good thing. But nobody's really handling anything well. They show this with Lynn, too. Lynn is struggling with responsibility, and if she's doing enough, and if a lot of her actions have caused a lot of the harm that her family has gone through, but she's still getting doped up off metahuman powers and then trying to go out there and fight. But okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. That's episode 2. But back to episode 1. After we heal Jess, we still got Lynn, you know, like I said, doping up, going out using powers, trying to stop crime on herself, but, you know, she's not good at it. She was never trained like the girls were with Gamby and Blacklightning. And we end off with episode 1 with Jen flying to the upper atmosphere and absorbing the energy of the atmosphere. She's addicted too. Like, everybody here is now being addicted to their powers. Blacklightning's powers is messing with his nervous system and his mental, especially dealing with his depression. Lynn is hopped up on the power thing. She needs to do more, be more powerful, be more responsible. And Jennifer is more powerful. She's the most powerful and is just going nuts with it. Every opportunity she gets, she flying, she out there using her power. And that's really the setup. Episode 1 is a great setup. When we get to, oh man, like I took a lot of notes today, y'all. It might seem like I'm not because I'm talking fast, but I took a lot of notes. We get a lot of caught up more with Jefferson, the state of the city, and everything else. And like I said, we end episode 1 with Tobias making his move on Lynn's job because he bought up her lab. He just funded a whole bunch of money. He run it now. And Jennifer, you can see she being addicted to her power. It is wild. It was a really nice setup. So we get to episode 2. Episode 2 starts off with a speech from the chief of police, again giving you the full setup of what's going on and what the beef is. And we start out with all out war. It's gangs on the street again, shootouts. Jennifer goes out there with her powers to blast people out, but she ain't paying no attention because she just caught up in the euphoria using her power. Lynn has to save her butt, but Lynn gets hurt in the process, and a kid gets shot. Anissa is there in her regular garb as a doctor with another doctor. Y'all remember Dr. Darius from last year? If y'all been following me, if you're not, Dr. Darius is a lab tech that works at Lynn and Anissa's laboratory. He kind of suspect. He was doing some shady stuff last year, and we're not sure if he's still doing those shady things. I'm glad they kept him around. He's a nice dude to, be a sounding board for stuff. But she getting close to the dude that was mass suspect last year doing some shady stuff behind people's back at the laboratory. But they get close. They go out there and try to save the kid. They can't. And Anissa is kind of moving away from Grace because she can't deal with this. Grace is in a coma. While she's in a coma, she's shape-shifting. If I haven't said that, I'm sorry. Grace's power is a shapeshifter. She's shape-shifting while she's still in the coma, but she's not in the coma when she's in other forms. Hopefully they get to that more. They didn't really get into that in this episode. But you see the effects that this senseless street violence is having on people, which is something that the series Blacklightning has done really well to deal with. And they do another step here when they got people talking about they feel inadequate, that they can't do anything. But they have a nice moment in this, and Dr. Darius, his name is Darius, and they talk about, like, that's not how, you try your best you can to help the people you can, and you never give up. And I think that's a really good message, along with, once again, we have another scene with Lynn talking about how she's feeling, about how she doesn't have any friends, she's isolated, all she has is her family, and she feels like she's losing it, but she's saying all this in therapy. Normalize black people going to therapy. It's a lot of stuff we got to deal with, a lot of trauma, personal and just outwardly dealing with racism, white supremacy, and anti-blackness. Sometimes you need somebody to talk to that's not biased, that their job is just to listen and help you build the tools to deal with a lot of this stuff. And I'm loving these first 2 episodes, how they're showcasing this, because Jefferson has his own therapy session later where he talks about, again, the loss of his friend. The emotions are running high now that his teacher lost their child, and they're giving up because they can't handle all the pressure of what's going on. The war, his dead child, losing their home because of the war. Now he's losing his kids because the child service, protective services taking them away. The pressures of this stuff. Jefferson talks about that in therapy. Wow, it's a lot of emotional ups and downs. I really like how these first 2 episodes are really focusing on the emotional aspects of this stuff and not just the superhero antics, which is good because I mean they also have not blown their budget yet, so we might get some really cool stuff mid-season at the end of the year, and I'm looking forward to it. We move on from that stuff with Jennifer, again, using her powers, not being responsible. She's ignoring all her non-superpower stuff. She's barely going to school. She's ignoring college applications. She's not taking her SATs and tests. She's just like, why? She can't find a reason. And it's pulling over into everything else, because now you got Jefferson, who feels alienated from his family. No one listens. And Nissa feels alone because she can't get to her sister and her mom. It's just so much infighting with the Lightning family. And Gamby's off trying to figure out his own life. You know, it's like, does he sit here constantly protecting them when they don't listen? They do stuff they're not supposed to do. Jefferson doesn't do what he's supposed to do. Lynn's lying to everybody about doping up. And then when they find out and they confront her about it, she blows up at them like, oh, so I'm just worthless because I wasn't born with these powers. So that sends her down the spiral, using more drugs. I know I'm skipping around a lot. I'm sorry. But it's emotional roller coaster for these 2 episodes. And honestly, it got me caught up in it. I'm caught up in the drama. I really am, because the family dynamic is what made this show so well constructed. And now the breakdown of it, when you throw in the superhero stuff, and then just the regular stuff that unfortunately a lot of black families got to deal with anyway. The pressures of, keeping a job, the pressures of keeping a home, through natural disasters, things out of your control, gang violence, drugs. All that stuff is in there. That's everyday life for people, black or not. But this show is focusing on that aspect, and it is super important that they show the emotional ramifications of it, because they're trying their best, and it may not be enough. Because again, we go back to the superhero part. Tobias, who learned last year the identities of the Lightning family, steps up to Jefferson. And he's just like, what's up, N-word? And Jefferson lights him up on sight, even though they had a whole argument when Tobias came back and showed that he was back and he alive. The family had an argument about killing him. Jefferson like, nobody touch him. It's all on me. But as soon as you see him, full blast lightning. Tobias got a new serum. He got a new superpower. He's insulated against lightning. Jefferson can't touch him. Can't touch him. Can't touch him politically. Can't touch him socially. Can't touch him physically now. And Tobias just lets him know, I haven't forgotten anything, Jefferson. I haven't forgotten anything, Blacklightning, all the trouble y'all caused me. And I'm going to take everything away from you one by one. And he just walks away. Setting up again the battle that, all superheroes have it, that arch nemesis, the good guy, it got a clash, and they're setting up this battle right now. But again, a slow build, not no knockdown, drag out fight, no giant special effects, a conversation between 2 men. And they did it really well. Again, the acting, top notch. Everybody plays their role perfectly. But then we move into more stuff on the streets. So I told you Anissa, who is Thunder, also has another alias called Blackbird, where she does less superhero things. She kidnapped the leaders of the gangs, the 100 led by Lala Resurrection Man, and Lady Destiny, who leads the Cobra Cartel for Lady Eve. And she tells them, there's an area in the city that's off limits to y'all for the homeless people who are trying to rebuild their lives from the war. Y'all come in here, I'm going to kill you. Again, this is Anissa, Thunder, the superhero, but being Blackbird, she's more anti-hero, so she's going to kill him. She makes a peace, a truce. But again, that's not going to last long. These two gangs want control of this city. Period. And they're going to figure out a way to do it. And honestly, I think they're just going to build up their strength throughout the year until everything gets pops off, until it becomes a powder keg. Because like I said, the cops coming at them too. The cops is gearing up. They're becoming more militaristic. They're getting more weapons for metahumans, and that means also more weapons that's for regular criminals. So another war is brewing, but it's more of a street level war than, an international army moving into a small American city. But that's not the end of it. Like I said, we go from all of this emotional movement and we go back to the streets. Gamby doesn't want to help Jefferson find the person that shot his teacher's child. Blacklightning calls up TC. If you remember him, he's the metahuman who can talk to computers from last year. He's like, yo, help me find him. CT helps him find him, and Blacklightning goes off again. Jefferson doesn't suit up, but he uses his powers, and he goes and he cripples another gang member. And it's becoming clear as the story goes on more and more that Jefferson is really losing it. That Jefferson is truly not in his right mind, and the depression with the use of his powers without the regulatory suit is really driving him nuts. And nobody really knows what to do. The cops are coming after him. His family's after him. Even Gamby's on him. It's like, what is happening here? And they ended on that with a voiceover from Jefferson just being real angry, real Batman-like, just like, I ain't really doing good. I'm just trying to hurt people. Yeah, I said it. That's what Batman does. He doesn't do good. He just hurts people. And that's what Blacklightning is doing right now. So, man, I didn't think I was going to do it. I didn't think I was going to be back, but the initiative got me too. I'm glad they did. I liked it. I'm interested in what's going to happen with this family, what's going to happen with this city. I'm back on Blacklightning probably every Tuesday. We'll do the review. I hope it's not late. I hope I keep on schedule. But yeah, Blacklightning, y'all. I liked it. I really did. I'm back for the final season, season 4. So, once again, I saw a superhero. He was black. He said this is for the street. Blacklightning's back.